What is up? What is cracking? Collective. It's your girl Ash, aka Goddess Goals, in the building. I'm busy, back babies, and at some point blank period. Here to give a message, here to tell a story, here to give a word. Remember that this message, this story, this word may not resonate with you at all. But if you're like, yo, Ash, that was me in the past, I can resonate with you because that was me in the past. Make sure you hit the like button. And if you're like, yo, Ash, that's me right now, I'm going through that right now. Make sure you hit the like button. You know, it will mean the world to me. But for this message, for this story, for this word, right? It's kind of like something you want to turn the things that has been rough for you into something that can be great for you. You know, have you ever felt like something may have been keeping you captive, and emotion has been keeping you captive, and you just want to get out of this captivity, right? It's like you being a bird, right? And you're in a cage and you just want to get out of that cage. Or, you know, you being a bird and now you are overpowering that cage where you're growing so much where just like, I gotta get out of this cage, you know? And you might be like, how can everybody else not see that I'm just getting too big for this cage, you know, that I need to escape this cage? Or, man, my light is growing so big that it's gonna overpower this cage, right? And it's like a beautiful thing, right? I'm getting notifications, I'm getting fireworks, and y'all know how I feel about fireworks. It's like a beautiful thing, just things popping off, right? And those that I'm talking to, maybe certain things happen in your life that just popped off very big, or popped off so much where you're like, look, man, all I can do is think about the jump off, when I'm gonna be able to jump off and fly, right? Fly for a good reason. But it's like, please let me fly. I'm growing way too big. I've held this pain inside since I was a kid. Please let me thrive. I want another kind. Don't let my sorrow turn into sin. Don't let my sorrow. You know what I'm saying? Alright, so it's like the person is just saying, like, man, just let me fly, just let me be free. You know, I'm growing way too big for this environment. I'm growing way too big for these worries. I'm growing way too big for these certain struggles. I'm growing way too big. You know what I'm saying? And I have been holding in this pain since I was a kid. I've been holding this resentment since I was a kid. I've been holding on to these certain things since I was a kid, and I'm just growing way too big for these certain sorrows, and the sorrow that I feel, I want to turn it into a good thing instead of turning it into a bad thing. Have you ever felt like, look, I want to turn my sorrows, I want to turn the things that has hurt me into beautiful things, and I don't want to turn it into sin. I don't want to become somebody bad just because of my sorrow. I feel like I gotta be talking to somebody else out there, just not myself, right? When you have been through certain things in your life and you're just like, look, man, I don't want this version of me to continue to be this version of me where I allow my sorrow become sin, or I allow my pain to become sin. I allow this anger inside of me to simply become sin. I know I'm bigger than that. I know I can build bigger than that. I know I can become bigger than that. I know I am bigger than that. And I promise you, if you let me out and you let me fly, you know what I'm saying, that I'll be one of a kind. Have y'all ever felt like that about yourself, where you just maybe ask somebody like, look, man, can you just give me a chance so I can fly and I can be one of a kind? I promise you I'll be one of a kind if you just let me fly. You know what I'm saying? If you just let me go off and fly. because I'm getting way too big for these certain things. I'm growing way too big for these certain things, or my mind is growing way too big for these certain things, or my physical body is growing way too big to be just locked in this cage again and again. Or sometimes it could be yourselves. Have you ever talked to yourselves like that? Like, man, you know what I'm saying? I'm growing and I'm getting older, but it's certain things as I get older. It's like, look, man, I want to change this because I'm growing way too big, mentally, physically, emotionally, for these certain things. And I've held this pain, and I've held this anger, and I've held this resentment in since I was a kid. And you know what I'm saying? And even if nobody else don't see how much pain I'm in, I feel in so much pain, and I just want to fly. Just can't let me fly. And not allow me to turn my sorrow into sin. And you might be talking to somebody else, right? You might be talking to another kid, right? Or you might be talking to another adult, right? You might be talking to another guy, right? You might be talking to another girl, right? And they may have been through pain. They may have been through suffering. They may have been through so many things. And you just touch them and like, look, baby, don't allow your sorrow to turn you to sin. Don't allow the sorrow that you have in your heart. Don't allow that coldness that you have in your heart to turn you the other way. Don't allow it to turn you into doing things that you know you don't want to do. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's like seeing a video, right? I seen a video how a man just talked to a young boy when he was gonna do something. You know, he was gonna do something and rob a place, and guess what? He changed his mind about robbing that place because the guy was like, look, man, I understand you need money. I'll give you money, right? You don't gotta rob me to get money. You don't gotta do this to get money. Put the gun down, because you don't gotta do that to get money. You don't gotta hurt nobody in order to have somebody that understands you. It's a way out. Have y'all ever felt like, you know, it's no way out? Have you ever been in a certain circumstance where you like, man, I don't got no money and there's no other way to get the way out, but this might be my way out, and somebody just comes to you and blesses you like, look, man, you don't gotta do this. Or you wish that somebody would have just came to you and talked to you like, look, man, you don't gotta do this. You don't gotta act like this. You don't gotta be like this. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that's all we need. You know what I mean? And when we think about that bird being in that cage, it might just be like the anger and the frustration is just so built up. Everything is just so built up, right? You know, and you're like, look, man, let me out of here. Let me out of this cage. I've held on to this pain since I was a kid. Can't you just let me out of this cage so I can fly? And if I fly, or you give me an opportunity to fly, you give me an opportunity to be free, or you give me an opportunity to, you know what I'm saying, prove to you that I can do the right thing, that I won't let you down. and I won't turn my sorrow into sin. I turn my sorrow into some sunshine. Have you ever did that? Have that ever happened to you where you like, look, man, I'm gonna turn my sorrow into sunshine, baby? We gonna turn our sorrow into sunshine and not our sorrow into sin. I don't want to turn my sorrow into sin. I don't want to hurt nobody because of my sorrow. You know what I'm saying? This can even be in a love situation where you've been hurt and you've been hurt and you've been hurt and you've been hurt and you've been hurt over and over again. And it's like, look, man, I love you so much, and you might be the perfect guy for me, or I love you so much, girl, and you might be the perfect girl for me, but I've been through so much and I don't even know how to love again. I don't even know what love means again. I don't even know who loves me again. I don't even understand love again, but I know that you love me again because you somehow show me love again, and I feel love again. But at the same time, you know, I don't want my sorrow to turn into sin. I don't want my sorrow to turn into something that other people have did to me. Have you ever been in a situation where you don't want your sorrow from somebody else to turn into a sin for somebody else? Like, I don't want to do that to you because somebody did it to me, and I don't want you to be like that somebody else to me. You know, you mean more to me than that. You mean more to me than that. You know, I want to turn my sorrow into sunshine. I want to be able to have a testimony about my sorrow and allow it to become my sunshine. And you know what I'm saying? And I don't want to break nobody else's heart. I don't want to even break nobody's heart. I don't want to break my heart. I don't want to. I just don't want to. I just got more things that I got to think about. I got more things that I got to do. And I got more that's in me. But just please help me fly so I don't have to turn my sorrow into sin. I don't want to allow my hurt to turn into sin. I don't want that. I don't want that. Have you ever felt like you just don't want that? Or have you ever became that? Have you ever became that person that allowed their sorrow to turn into sin? Or have you ever became the person that has turned their sorrow into sunshine? Have you ever been hurt multiple times and you're like, look, I'm going to continue to allow all that sorrow to turn into sunshine. I'm going to use all that sorrow up and turn it to something that you will never be able to outshine again. Because I'm going to light it up so bright, baby. I'm going to make it so bright, baby, that you will understand. Sorrow don't always last forever because I can turn it into sunshine. I can turn my sorrow into art. It's something about art. It's something about drawing art. It's something about just things being so beautiful, right? How you can turn your pain into something so beautiful. Don't underestimate me, because when you underestimate me, baby, I'm just going to turn that sorrow that you gave me into sunshine. But at the same time, don't push me, because my sunshine will blind you. And I don't want to turn my sorrow into sin. You know what I'm saying? You might be warning somebody like, man, don't allow me to turn my sorrow into sin. God forbid, right? God forbid, right? We're going to think positive, right? Even though we can't always think positive, we got to be realistic, but you know what I'm saying? We're going to do our best to think positive. And you can be saying this to somebody like, look, you just don't understand where I came from. You don't understand what I've outgrew. You don't understand. I used to at one point in time allow my sorrow to turn into sin, but now I allow my sorrow to be sunshine. I allow it to be hit by the sunshine. You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all are the light. You are the light and you shine bright, and it's a beautiful light that you allow to shine. And that may drive some people mad, right? You know, that may bring other people to some type of peer pressure. Maybe ask them, you know, or them ask themselves, why I'm not turning my sorrow into sunshine, but sorrow into sin, right? And for some of y'all, you are under some type of peer pressure where you don't want to allow other people's pressure to turn your sorrow into sin. When you know certain people are telling you to do this thing and do that thing, and you like, look, man, I got to do the right thing, you know? Because if I don't do the right thing, that wouldn't even be me. Or maybe at one point in time, y'all had noticed, like, look, all that anger and stuff, that's not even me. That's really not me. Or I really don't want that in me. That's really not me. And you might be wanting to take a risk. Like, hey, I'm a risk to do something different. I'm a risk to be something different. Well, I'm a just risk to be myself. Even though I'm under a lot of peer pressure, I would rather take a risk on being myself and saying something about myself and allowing myself to thrive and be something that's different, one of a kind type of different. And you might be scared of being rejected, or this has been a problem, an issue. Like, man, I'm just so scared to be rejected. I'm scared if I fly that, somebody gonna try to shoot me down because I'm just so big. And we don't say that in an egotistical way, but when we say big, it's your light is big. The light that you shine is big. The love that you give is big. You are bright. You are intelligent. You are wise. You are strong. Think about how strong you can possibly be when you outgrow a certain thing, when you just outgrow something, when you outgrow that cage. If you that bird inside of that cage and you outgrow that cage, imagine how big you would be. And you know that there's just certain people will try to shoot you down when they see something so big, when they see somebody that can go through those things that you have went through and still come out bright, turning your sorrow into sunshine and not allowing your sorrow to turn into sin. So it's always good to be cautious of certain things, but also be like, man, whatever happens, happens. But I can't allow my sorrow to turn into sin. I can't allow my sorrow to turn me into something that I don't want to be. No matter how many people hurt me or how many people have hurt me, that's not me. Collective, that's not you. Collective, that's not us. Deep down in our minds and our souls and our bodies, we know that that's not us. You know that's not us. So yeah, please let me fly. I'm growing way too big. I've held this pain inside since I was a kid. Please let me thrive. I'll be one of a kind. I turn my sorrow into sunshine. Just please don't allow me to turn my sorrow into sin. I don't want to turn my sorrow into sin. Let's not turn our sorrow into sin. But let us fly. Allow yourself to fly. Mentally, physically, emotionally, all these. Baby, let's fly. Let's fly. No sorrows into sin. That is my message. That is my story. And that is my word. And I hope y'all got some type of value out of this. And I'll be busy back, baby. Peace.